Alright, I'm recording.
Hi.
Hi there. Welcome back to the second episode of our podcast. We invite you to engage with us by posing your thoughts and questions as comments, just like in our previous podcast video. Your perspectives are valuable to us, and we look forward to hearing from each of you. Okay, here's our first comment. I'll be reading them, Tony.
Gotcha.
Do you believe video games cause increased aggression?
I don't think so. I think that the idea of video games increasing aggression is a very mixed bag, but for the majority of people who play violent video games, their aggression levels don't raise as much as some other people. But that it is important to note that my perspective is just of one person, and both of us value all viewpoints in this discussion.
That's a good point, Tony. That's very good. Although it does depend on the person, like you said before, video games can cause increased aggression. This quote from the APA states, playing violent video games like Doom, Wolfenstein 3D, or Mortal Kombat can increase a person's aggressive thoughts, feelings, and behavior both in a laboratory setting and in actual life. It's crucial to consider such evidence in our discussion, but remember, it is not a guarantee they will act on them. Here's our second comment. What outside factors may be correlated to aggressive tendencies? Um, it's a good question. Some outside factors that may be correlated to aggressive tendencies are environmental factors such as exposure to violence, social factors, family dynamics, peer influence, and bullying, or physiological factors such as mental health issues, substance abuse, and trauma and or stress.
You mentioned the social factors. Everything that you said is very necessary to understanding someone's excuse me someone's aggressive tendencies, and I believe that the family part is the most essential in all of that. The Harvard Health blog states that every person is different. Some are more likely to be affected by others. So, if you are growing up with parents or guardians who are fighting or yelling all the time, you are most likely to have an increased level of aggressiveness compared to some others.
That definitely is true. Kids that do have, bad parents raising them. Well, I guess we shouldn't say bad, but are raised in a tough environment. It definitely
Yeah.
can, affect their mental attitude.
As you said, video games do show off what guns can do to people. These people are simulated, of course, but it does, like you said, it scares most people into not using them in real life. And I personally have shot guns before, and from everything I've heard in movies and games, those two are clearly fictional, but the sound was just so unbelievable to me. It genuinely did scare me.
Yeah, no, I have heard that most gun films, like John Wick or such like that, they do use muffled sounds, and for suppressors, they're even more muffled. Um, but on to our fourth question. Are there any benefits to playing video games? Yeah, for many people, video games are sort of an escape or a way to calm down and help people with social anxiety. For example, a study published in the Journal of Applied Social Physiological, I believe, found that video games can increase socially desired skills, such as communication, cooperation, teamwork, and team building. This has certainly been my experience.
I agree. I mostly play video games such as Counter Strike and Dead by Daylight, and in those games, you have to communicate and cooperate with other people. And with all the time that I have played these games, it has definitely helped me build my communication skills at least a little bit.
Definitely. My communication skills have definitely been helped with games like those in CS:GO and Fortnite games like them. Um, and on to our fifth question, actually. Can video games help with stress or anxiety? Why or why not? I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences on this. Well, thank you very much.
It definitely does. Video games help with stress and anxiety. The main reason I play video games is to just have like a nice, relaxing thing to do. Like I can hang out with my friends. We're all on the same medium, and we're just talking and hanging out and just having something to do, and it's just very lovely.
That does certainly sound lovely. Uh, Same with me, actually. I love just hanging out with my friends, playing video games, getting angry at each other, yelling at each other. It's very fun to do. But personally, for me, I believe video games can help with anxiety and stress. I play games like Master Duel. Not many people do, but it's based off of a card game that I love. It's called Yu-Gi-Oh! There are also many first-person shooters like Halo and Counter-Strike Global Offensive, or CS:GO, what Tony mentioned earlier, and third-person shooters like games like Fortnite. I play these games to pass the time, usually whenever I'm angry at something, and it just takes my mind off of it. And on to our sixth question, which I think is a little special here. What kind of violence qualifies a video game as violent?
This comment definitely makes me think a lot harder for plenty of reasons. Of course, you have your run of the mill shooters. Those are very clearly you can just put those down as violent. Those it's just very clear. But then there's the more odd games like Minecraft, for example. The ESRB, they have the game rated E10 plus, which is just it's rated for everyone over 10 years old, and they have it put down as fantasy violence, which it of course it sounds as it says, but you don't have to actually play Minecraft like with any violence. There is a whole game mode which just removes all the stuff where you have to fight anything, and you could just build stuff.
You're referring to peaceful mode there.
Yeah.
And you are right, Tony. This comment is a thinker. As you said, shooters are straightforward to categorize as violent. But I don't think that's what the question is asking, because I would say anything where you can kill things is violent. But then there are games like Forza, which are a racing car game, where you can crash a car and it can get pretty beat up and violent. Which is why I would categorize the game as very violent. So it's definitely a confusing question that makes you think.